Good morning and good afternoon. Happy Monday, everybody. So I hope everyone has a good start to their week. It was interesting this morning. Somebody told me it was snowing in Chicago. We've had crazy rains in Florida. And, the one thing that brought up for me that I want to share with all of you is all of those things are external things. And really, the only thing that we can do is control what goes on in here. And as we continue to grow and focus, I encourage everyone to continue prioritizing themselves. Be self-aware of who you are, how you learn, where your roadblocks are in execution, and try to make the process simple. Because in reality, all we're really asking you to do is take the stuff that we have and take 30 minutes a day to practice. That's it. And if you do it consistently, it's the M&Ms of life, momentum and multipliers. You guys have the momentum of coming here every day. Take the time of practicing. That's a multiplier. Reaching out to each other and building relationships outside of this is a multiplier. This is how you build a referral network. When people know who you are, you align on a similar way of doing business, you share common values, you build a friendship. And the thing about agent-to-agent networking that people lose track of, if I know Ed is good for a certain area in New Jersey and him and I are friends, I know that he's a family guy, he's competitive, he kicks ass in jiu-jitsu, right? And, he's a hard worker. So anyone that goes in those areas, when someone asks me or anything, that I'm going to think of him, right? So when we look at multipliers, that's what building these relationships are. So we don't want to be oblivious to what is going on in the world. And before we get into seller questionnaires and everything else, just remember this quote: choose the changes for yourself before the world chooses them for you. Because when the world chooses them for you, it is a very cruel reality to face. If you look at anything that you could learn in the history of real estate, is that the world has been choosing the changes for all of you. It's because we don't always pay attention to what the consumer needs are. It's our failure to adapt, not believing that trends are just not going to be trends, that they're actually going to be things that are ongoing. Look at what happened to so many great agents when online leads came out, literally wiped out their entire business because they didn't want to adapt. So we're living in the world where there are 2 class action lawsuits that are threatening buyer agents' commissions. Being able to articulate your value proposition today is more important than ever before. Communication without context is miscommunication. And all these things we're doing is really building one system that you guys can all plug into in a simple way to do business that's driven towards creating a business that can fit into your life versus trying to have a life that fits into your business. Because every person wants clarity through communication. All of your clients operate on schedules. And if you don't define things in advance, you're leaving them up to interpretation. We can both be in the same place and think 2 different things. Look at CNN and Fox. If you watch both of those news stations, you'd think we lived in 2 completely different worlds. And that's what it's like between sellers and agents. So when we get into seller questionnaires, this is all great to ask people a bunch of questions, but the whole point of this is to elevate yourself, to have strategy, to find a way to stand out amongst everybody else. If you're any of my friends in California, especially San Francisco, 50% of the market is Compass agents. And the common... I see who's nodding her head. I see Debbie nodding her head, right? So here's what happens in the common misconception. People think real estate agents are like car brands. I get a BMW 3 Series, I lift up under the hood, it's the same thing. Oh, I'm sorry, I went with another agent at Compass. Don't you guys do the same thing? No, you don't. It's the experience you create and the communication that you give them. And the more you're engaged based on what their expectations are, their motivations are, avoiding their disappointments, addressing their concerns, and tying everything back to that, you're giving people an experience that's quantifiable, repeatable, predictable. So when doing anything with a client, there are 3 things that you want to think about. and write these 3 words down. Think, feel, do. And I can share personally, this was one of the biggest breakthroughs that I ever had when I first started my career, both in real estate and in coaching. Because so many people obsess over the actual, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. But if you go all the way to the end, Marissa, in Denver, see you nodding your head, and you ask yourself those 3 questions. At the end of this experience that a client has with me, what do I want them to think? How do I want them to feel? And what do I want them to do? Now, based on those 3 predetermined outcomes, you could plan the entire experience. And this is how your clients become your greatest salespeople. So what do I want somebody to think? That I was organized, that it was a predictable experience, that I created certainty in an uncertain situation. How do I want them to feel? Comfortable, confident, secure. What do I want them to do? Refer everybody. Think about this logically. Selling your home sucks. Someone's going to sell my home. They're going to come in. They're going to tell me to take all the magnets off the fridge. They're going to tell me to get rid of all my personal pictures. They're going to tell me to paint walls, remove things out. So essentially what a real estate agent is doing is turning your house into a hotel and rejecting the way that you live. And then after that, I'm going to tell you to leave your house when all these other people come. And then after that, they're going to take a position, they're going to engage in positional bartering, as we talked about last week, and take a fixed position on my home. Does that really sound like fun for anybody? No. So the more clarity that we can create, the more streamlined of an experience we could do, the more clear and concise we are in exactly what they're getting and aligning it to their expectations and their motivations and what they're most excited about happening, that's where the magic happens. As I said in a video online, it's none of this hokey pokey nonsense. This is all real. This is how you build a profitable, repeatable, predictable, and scalable business. Is actually having a business model that when somebody says, oh, I love that name, Cherish Hope. That might be my new favorite name ever. Cherish Hope, right? Like that's just so metaphorical for all the stuff we're talking about. If someone says to me, like, what, if you ask me, like, what do you do to sell my home? Like, what makes you different? You know, it's really easy to say. Then you could say the line that we shared with you. You know, if you want to know what's different, I could share with you several of my clients' numbers, and maybe or maybe not, they spoke with agents, but they could give you more of a detailed explanation on that. What I really want to know is what type of experience are you looking for when partnering with an agent, and bring it to that. The goal in any of these conversations is to isolate the conversation in a place that you know you can only win. They're going to turn around, and most real estate agents don't talk about experience. They talk about, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And literally it's like drinking out of a beer funnel, like you're in college at a frat party. People just pouring stuff. It's overwhelming. There's only so much information that people could digest. There's only so much information that they could digest before asking the questions. What did you think of that? How do you feel? Do you think this would be the best for your home? Leaving those breadcrumbs. This is about putting this all together. So why is the seller questionnaire important? Number one, everyone's like, oh, I want to build rapport. Well, you build rapport by learning about people, getting them to talk about themselves, understanding what's important. How many agents really take the time to know everything about a house before they sell it? How many people really read all those disclosure forms? And how many clients lose money, offers, and time because things weren't discussed and planned in the beginning? And then you do all this work and they're pissed off at you about this one thing. It's like, are you kidding me? Well, that's how human beings work. The last time I checked, here in America, no matter how much good you do, look at what's going on with the Dalai Lama. Look at what happened to Will Smith. These entire people's experiences and things that they've built value for their entire lives are erased in one bad moment, right? I'll clap if I can't snap. Life goal of mine. And so look at your business. You work with somebody, you go through this whole experience, and the entire thing could be erased in one moment. And the goal is to avoid that happening. So the seller questionnaire allows you to know more about the client. You can also turn this into marketing books. It also allows you to show the property better. And it shows that you're more prepared with other agents because you're not just taking this information to write it down on a piece of paper. I encourage all of you, when we share the questionnaire, we're going to share it in a Google Doc that you can edit. We're also going to share it with additional questions so you could add and pull the things that you want as well, right? And you'll have all that in your weekly recap, a basic Google form that you could start off with. And the people are like, well, I use these in my disclosures. Well, really, who really reads the disclosure? Because here's what happens in a transaction when you don't do these things. Number one, you can use this as a strategic point in selling yourself as saying, hey, I have a strategy which allows us not really to ever have to renegotiate on home inspections. Would you like to know what that is? What do you think every seller is going to say? Oh my God, yeah. Well, when you put all this information you have in here presented to an agent prior to showing the property and letting them know, here's all of the stuff in the house, please be mindful, minus, and you agree with this on the seller, right? The only things that the seller will consider renegotiating after an inspection are structural issues, mold, asbestos, termites, and non-functional mechanicals. So please share all this information with your buyer in advance and make them aware of this. Look, do you know how many times you go to a house and the boiler, it looks like it's going to die? You know it's going to die. You decide to buy the house and then the inspector tells you all this stuff. You want $10,000 for your boiler. Are you crazy? I used to tell people all the time, like, I would say, hold on, I'm confused. They'd say, well, why are you confused? Did you guys not look in the boiler room? And they'd be like, no, we looked in the boiler room. Oh, so you saw the boiler? Yeah. So you saw that it was old? Yeah. Did it look like it was going to die soon? Yeah. But you still made an offer and you saw the boiler like that. Your offer didn't say, you know, $1.2 million would sell replacing the boiler now, did it? I'm sorry, we're not going to renegotiate. Now that's strategy. Now, when you go to Danville and there's 8 million Compass agents and one person doesn't have any plan and the other one says do the disclosures, do you guys all see how this turns into something more valuable? We don't do anything here by accident. Everything is planned and purposeful and connects into one system. What I would like all of you to do is this, and we're going to get into, at the end, we're going to have time for, you know, make sure that everyone's enrolled in role playing. This is something I believe that everything, it shouldn't be a should, it becomes a must. Tony Robbins says, make your shoulds, make I should do this into must, and your entire life will change. And Trisha has been doing an amazing job building out our next program outside of the playbook on the end-to-end client experience, which actually shows people how to put all of these tools together in every email, every template, every conversation in one place. And we want your feedback. The best things to build are what people want and need, so it fills the holes in their business. We've got a handful of stuff. She's created like a version 1.1 and she wants to share it with people. And this is your chance to actively have what you want. So if you've ever wanted me to make an email template for you, say some, whatever it is, this is the time to give your Disney wish list based on what she's made. So we'll leave time for that at the end. All right, let's go through this questionnaire. And I'm going to walk you through why are we doing the questionnaire? Because we can learn everything about the home and also position ourselves to maximize your equity. What are we doing? Really getting all the information a buyer needs to make a decision. Because here's what happens. You have a percentage of buyers when they're buying a house, they want to know all the additional costs to it. And if the seller doesn't have that stuff, what happens? The seller, you tell the seller, oh, I want to make an offer. Well, they want to know this, 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 and this. What's the age of this? What's the age of this? How much does this cost? How much does this cost? Well, the buyer doesn't want to make a decision. Well, the seller wants the offer because now they want an offer and you told them it's going to be an offer and it's gridlock. And who do they blame? They don't cherish hope. I'll tell you that. They're like, oh no. What they end up doing is, why don't you have this? It's all your fault. So let's go through this. And how do we do this? We capture all the information in advance. We share it with buyers and we let them know that these are the things that we're very firm on. And this is a communication equity maximization strategy. Oh, I like that one. Our equity maximization strategy, how we protect your equity from buyers who want to steal your money. That one just kind of flowed out. So I think that was a good one. I would encourage everyone to, instead of calling it a seller questionnaire, call it the equity maximization plan. Because these are cool little things that people say, like, yeah, I had an agent come and they said the craziest thing. They said he has an equity maximization plan. And what he does is this, and this is about think, feel, and do. What do you want them to think? You're different. What do you want them to feel like? Wow, they're really going to protect my money. What do you want them to do? Go tell somebody else. Because if you notice a shift, people that are in social circles now all use different real estate agents. Where back in the day, they used to all do it together. Like if I got Carol's circle, I had all her friends and everything. Well, it doesn't work that way anymore, right? And like the sooner we can acknowledge that, the further and faster we'll grow. All right, so let's get into this questionnaire. So when you get in this is not a property disclosure, this is a disclaimer and everything else. Address, are there HOA fees? What is the fee amount? What's included? Then this is really important. And this is what people want to know, the operating costs of a home. Gas, electric, water, sewer, if it's a sewer, garbage, if it's a garbage, landscaping. For all those people coming from the city to a suburbs, like these are all shocks. So prior to making an offer, you want people to know all this stuff. There are people that are very, very, very payment sensitive. So like an extra $800-900 a month, they're going to freak out about. Service providers, I'd encourage you to have your clients take 12 months of a bill, a full calendar year, and show what this is. And this will get into building our seller portal and everything else. You want to have all this stuff organized. You know how easy this is to put into a Google Drive file with the questionnaire and everything like that and send it to everyone in advance? Or you build this into a great marketing book if the property justifies the print cost and give this to every buyer. By the way, do you know how many buyers are undercover sellers today? A lot. The shift we see is our clients that are doing this, the buyers, even though they have other agents, are saying, wow, we're so impressed for like this. We're thinking of selling our home. Do you know how many people work with an agent and never tell them they have to sell their home because they don't even know if they want to use them to sell their home? Maintenance, roof, age type, exterior type, last painted, boiler, furnace, hot water age. I encourage you to put the make and models in here as well too. Water treatment, there are people that have water treatments in their home. HVAC, do you have a sub pump? Do you have pest control? Do you have a generator? Appliances, oven, I would put make, model, and year. Same thing, range, refrigerator, dishwasher, washer, dryer, microwave. Additional upgrades. We're going to update this to put the different rooms and add when the upgrades are done. But these are all different things to put in here. By the way, this also influences your marketing, right? Kitchen updates. Bedroom updates. Bedroom updates. Laundry updates. And there's more. Now, here's the next part we could put some cool question. You know, what made this house your home? Here's another great question that I like to ask people. What did you enjoy most about this house after living here that you did not know when purchasing the home? I'd want to know, what are the closest gas stations, grocery stores, restaurants, school? Like, think about it. A home is where you build your memories. A community is where you live your life. Our goal is to pair the two together. Do you know how great it would be if you were the lifestyle sellers agent, where not only did you have all this information, you show people like, hey, like this is your life and these are all the things and everything else. The more time and efforts that you could save a buyer, the easier this all becomes. And then here's the other one. You ever fight with somebody over a light fixture in a house when the buyer wants it and the seller wants to keep it? Well, all these things are done in advance. Showing instructions. Lockbox areas. What do you have keys for? You people fight over garage door openers in the end. I'm not giving money. Well, you should be here. All of these things are all important details, right? All of them. Obsess over details. Now, couple different ways to share this. If you choose to share this as an email, I would say this. I would say, Philip, I'm looking forward to meeting with you. Prior to our meeting, we have an equity protection or equity maximization plan. And essentially, it's by answering these questions, we have a unique way of positioning your home in the market to maximize your equity. Regardless if you choose to partner with us or not, this is important information to have to really protect the equity of your home. So you could gladly take the time to do it. It'd be great. That's one way of doing it. The second way of doing it is you share it on your pitch and then you do it after. Now, here's what we're paying attention for. You know, I always use grandma's little Italian sauce recipe. With some of these clients will do, I don't need this. This is not like this. This is not important. This is not how buyers work. We all raise your hands. You all have these clients. So essentially what they're telling you is, I want to give you the ingredients to your recipe and then expect it to taste the way that you made it. Don't do it. Don't ever forget these words. How it starts is how it goes. If that's what it's starting like, as a wise person told me once, don't walk, run. We all feel good about this, so open up the chat. Cherish Hope, you might be my new favorite person. Like the name is so cool. All right, how many people are going to take this questionnaire and actually use it? Like now, like this thing's like ready to go now. See, hit yes in the chat box. Now, here's the reality of it. If I just presented this questionnaire with no context to it and everything, it seems like a homework assignment. People don't understand. You know how many people have questionnaires like this? A whole bunch of people. Do people know how to position it, promote it, and make it part of a value proposition? Yeah. All right, guys, I feel like the price is right. I feel like an auctioneer going once, going twice, going once, going twice. All right, we are at like 35%. So 60, about 40%. So there's still 60% of you not sure. You just have your phone on and you're not paying attention. One or the other. There we go. Come on, keep them coming. Don't let the morning group outshine you guys. You know, they're at like 65, 70%. There's nothing wrong with some friendly competition in life. Now we're over 50. Here we go. So look, here's the important part. As you're going forward, right? In strategic planning, there's present state and future state. The future state of your business is that you have a repeatable and predictable process that you can share with people over and over again, that you've practiced it enough that you speak with confidence. Confidence comes with consistency. Anything that you do in your life today that you feel good about is because you've done it over and over and over and over and over again. Think about boxing. You think people have confidence to stand there like this and get punched in the face? No, but they get hit a bunch of times. They start learning as part of the process. You have to practice if you really want this to work. And like, really think about what I'm asking you for. 30 minutes a day, 4 times a week. This is a business and career. And by not practicing, you're literally saying that you're willing to lose money every year for yourself, your family, the people you care about, your dog, your pet, your partner, your friend, or yourself. Keep the promises you make to yourself with the most important ones. When you make promises to yourself and you don't do them and you hear something new, that's where the whole saying comes, I don't think this is for me. Your body and brain are conditioned that way because every time you say you're going to do something, you don't. So just resist it because the brain's looking for certainty and comfort, not disappointment. So let's all move forward. Let's all be savages and take advantage of all the agents that don't want to do anything. It's pretty simple. You guys have the momentum of being here. I encourage all of you in the next week to reach out to somebody and meet in a remote location, 4, 6, 8, 10 people, and sit in a room and put all of your minds together and build out this experience that we've collected all together for you. Talk to each other all the time, build friendships, build relationships. Robert says it all the time. No one succeeds alone. There's 144 people on this call. There's plenty of people to work with. I don't think this is for me. All right, so we'll put all the accountability stuff in here, but right now I want to turn it over to Trisha so she can share with you for the last 5 minutes of what we have to do. But I'm going to stay on to listen, but as I like to end every session with love in my heart, I love you all. I believe in you, and I'll never miss a moment to share gratitude. Thank you all for being one of the best parts about our day. And our business is nothing more than a collection of dreams, and all the dreams are yours. And our goal always is to help you reach your dreams. So thank you for being present. Thank you for allowing me to push you. Thank you for not sending us emails that say you're a jerk for keep telling us the time block every day. We've heard this enough. I have not got one of those. So we really appreciate it. And like, look, the only reason we say this is because all of us as a team really care. And we're trying to do everything humanly possible to remove every barrier between what you learn and what you do. And sharing feedback and telling us what's most helpful is the best way to do it. We're all in on you. So you guys all need to be all in on yourselves. All right, Trisha, let's spotlight you. I don't know how to do this.
Thanks, Chirag. I'm spotlighted. I can see myself.
All right, cool.
All is good. Thanks so much for that. And everybody, I'm going to start off by thanking everyone who's contributed to the user guide feedbacks. We've had some amazing inputs and ideas from you and very positive feedbacks. But I have to tell you, we at CSC are so greedy. We want more. We want to hear more from you. We want you to have a look at what we're doing. I'm going to share my screen. So the end-to-end program, as Chirag said, it's a full transaction program. It takes you from the beginning to the end of the wholesaler's process. It's going to tell you or help you know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And the user guides is only a small part of that. There's a lot more. So we sent out user guides to over 120 agents asking for your ideas and your feedbacks and everything else. And a good few of you have responded, but some haven't. So what we've done this time is if you scan this QR code, it will bring you into our user guide form. But instead of just giving us feedback on the guides we gave you access to, we're giving you access to all our user guides, every single one. So if you go in here, let me just close that down. You'll see right here at the beginning, if you click there, you will get access to all our user guides. So you choose what you want to give us feedback on. And then the questions, you put your name in and you tell us what you think of it, and basically any recommendations you've had. And so we'd love to hear back from you on that. Let me just, sorry, there's so many things on my screen right now. I'm looking for the right tab to take you back to where I was. Here we go. So if we go back here, so that's if you scan it there. Herson can drop the link in the chat as well. So you have it on your computer. And the other thing that Chirag mentioned was the wish list. So what we want you to let us know is there any email, any script, anything that you've needed for going through the seller process that we have not yet provided you with? If there's anything there, we have another link for a wish list, and we'd love to hear from you. So again, that's two things. The user guides, have a good look through as many of them as you want to. Let us know what your ideas, what you think of them, how we can improve them. And then the other part is the wish list. It's another form. They're going to be in the resources later on today. And so, you can go back later on and click into them and see exactly what else you would like us to include. And then the last thing I have for you here is our email. So we're keeping things super simple on end to end. It's e2e@chiragshahcoaching.com. So if you have any questions or you want to recap on any of these links or you're missing anything, just shoot me a quick email there and we'll get it to you. So is there anything anybody else needs? Is there any questions there? I'm going to put the link here. There's the link for the form for the user guide, so you have it on your desktop. And then the wish list one, I will get that for you now. Here is the link for the wish list. And as I said, it'll be in the resources. So later on, you can just click in and get them there. But yeah, anything you have, let us know. And we want to hear from you. And like seriously, these are bite-sized user guides. None of them are huge, so they shouldn't take too long. They're like, I have a full CRM one, but I've split it into, or we split it into many little ones. So you don't have to go for the full, just take a bite size and just let us know what you think. We'd love to hear from you. And that's all I have for you, unless you have any questions. Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. And those agents who have given us feedback, I love everything you've sent us in. It's been phenomenal. Absolutely fantastic. Okay. Thanks, guys. Take care. See y'all again soon. Bye-bye.